Hello YouTube, this is a refreshed and back from vacation Frugal, and this is the Frooglesim news for today, Sunday, November the 22nd. First up, Flight Tamper last week released Corfu. Now this covers the entire island of Corfu, and in particular Limo Golf Kilo Romeo Airport. It covers a complete island with a custom mesh, hand-placed vegetation and 3D lighting. There is full coverage across the scenery, including custom buildings and all well-known landmarks. On the airport itself, there's animated apron buildings, road traffic, ship traffic, because there's a dock and a harbour nearby, animated 3D ramp workers, pre-rendered self-shadowing and custom reflection maps, and, this is a big one, I haven't seen this on any scenery yet released for Prepared version 3, it includes speed trees. So that's the new tree technology in Prepared version 3, and it brings with it animated trees, which is kind of cool. Fully compatible with FTX Global, Vector, UTX and AI traffic packages. Flight Tamper's Corfu will set you back €24. More information at the Flight Tamper link in the show notes below. Next up, IXEG this week announced some interesting stuff. They released a new video showing a fully functioning CDU and FMS in their upcoming IXEG 737 for X-Plane. Users of the PMDG 737 NGX will be very familiar with this video, as it actually shows a lot of the stuff that you can do in the FSX NGX, you can also do in the FMS with an X-Plane. That's a big deal because we're decidedly lacking, I think, in fully functional FMSs and CDUs and all that gubbins with an X-Plane. Now, I actually saw this aircraft at FlightSimCon this year, and I had a chance to sit down with Tom and work through the aircraft, and I'm now very anxious to get my hands on the finished product, which apparently is not going to be too far away, because IXEG also opened up forums. There's a link to the forums in the show notes below, and they're saying that they're indicating in their announcement about this release of these forums that the end is in sight, and they are still hoping to get this product released this year. Those of you who saw my interview with Tom at FlightSimCon know that he did say he wanted to get it released this year. So fingers crossed, looks like the end might very well be in sight at long last, and I can't wait. Sticking with X-Plane, Aerosoft's Southwest Florida International, developed by Omar Masroor, released this week. Now, the airport, Southwest Florida International, is located on the southwestern coast of Florida, and it's the second busiest single runway airport in the US, handling around 8 million passengers. The scenery has a resolution of 10 centimeters per pixel orthographic imagery covering the entire airport, 1 centimeter per pixel custom ground detail markings, which is incredibly high resolution. It has baked-in ray-traced ambient occlusion, night illumination on the airport terminal building, specular reflections and HDR lighting, accurate building heights, which is actually measured using something I don't understand called LiDAR. It was developed using X-Plane 10 native methods as well for maximum performance. Includes animated jet bridges and marshals at all gates. Has static aircraft as an option, animated and static ground vehicles, volumetric graphs, road traffic. In fact, to be honest with you, the feature list for Aerosoft Southwest Florida International for X-Plane is very similar to the feature list for an FSX or Prepared scenery add-on, which again is great news. I've got to say, although I like X-Plane a great deal, I'm very fond of it, I have found in the past, my personal opinion, that scenery add-ons in particular for that sim tend to be, I don't know, a little bit lacking in polish. This one does not seem to be following that trend, which is great. $20 and €13. More information at the Aerosoft link in the show notes below. Sticking with X-Plane, Carenado this week released the CT206H Station Air G1000 extension pack, and they win the award for catchiest product name of the year. This is an extension pack to the CT206 or the Station Air. You need to already have the Station Air, and it adds in Carenado's version of a G1000, so that's the PFD and the MFD. Their implementation of the G1000 gives you a terrain awareness map mode, different declutter levels, advanced menus and cursor with scroll wheel support, yay! Aux trip planning window, a checklist mode, vector-based water data. Pop-up windows as well can be resized and moved around the screen, so you can actually pop this thing out and put it wherever you like. Pristine scroll wheel support. Now that's word for word what they list in their feature set. Pristine scroll wheel support. Carenado have been a little odd with their scroll wheel support in the past, but not anymore. FPS-friendly terrain map as well. Also includes a KFC 225 autopilot that is integrated with the G1000, and in addition to all of that, brings with it 3D gauges, for the Stationair, optional high-quality digital stereo sound recorded directly from the real aircraft, 3D stereo effects, such as different sounds when you open a window, a customizable panel for controlling window transparency, instrument reflections, and static elements, of course, such as the wheel chocks and turbine. And as always with their aircraft, they claim it's got realistic behavior compared to the real airplane and realistic weight and balance that has been tested by real pilots. More information at the Carenado link in the show notes below. Back over in the world of FSX and Prepared, the big news this week is that Majestic released the Q400 Pro. Now, this is the second version of Majestic's amazing Q400, the third being the Training Edition, which, frankly, the feature list for the Training Edition is probably overkill for most of us home simulator fans. The Pro version extends the basic pilot version, adding some really deep features to the aircraft that will appeal to those who want to get completely immersed in what it's like to actually fly and manage a real Q400. In fact, the update has a number of features that could also be of value to people learning to fly or wanting to learn to fly the real aircraft as well. Among the features that you're going to get with the Pro upgrade are shared cockpit, so 2 of you can be in the cockpit at the same time. In fact, 3 of you can have a spectator as well. It has a failure system, the heads-up guidance system, smoother controls and flight model, which when I read that I thought, no, that's not possible. The Q400 is already one of the smoothest aircraft that you can fly in FSX and Prepared, but it got apparently even better. An advanced sound system, autopilot TCS mode, FMS, ETP and PNR modes, 2D panels, which is great news for the cockpit builders out there, working circuit breakers, good luck trying to memorize them all, there are hundreds of them, and the alternate gear extension system. Now, Prepared version 3 support for the Q400 Pro and the Q400 Pilot is currently in beta, and you can get access to that beta very easily just by buying the upgrade. I think it's on their forums as well. The price for the Q400 Pro on its own is $89.99. That's what I saw at Just Flight store, but you can actually just pay the difference. If you already own the Pilot version, you can pay the price difference between Pilot and Pro and get the upgrade that way. There are 2 links in the show notes below. One is for Majestic Software's own Q400 page, and they sell that product through numerous online vendors. My favorite's Just Flight. No, they're not sponsoring me, so I've got a Just Flight link down there as well, and you can look at what it's like to buy it. Finally, and sticking with Prepared version 3, I wasn't going to cover this, but a few of you actually brought it up as kind of a big deal, so I figure it's a big deal. RealAir are starting to update their aircraft for Prepared version 3. Now, I'm a big fan of RealAir. They are a very small company, though, and it takes them quite a while to update their product line to support new platforms. This week, RealAir Simulations announced that not only is the Turbine Duke version 2 now available for Prepared version 3, but the Piston Duke and the Lancair Legacy are both coming soon. The Turbine Duke version 2 is probably to twins what A2A are to single-engine GA aircraft. It's absolutely superb and well worth checking out. And I did previously promise more flights with that aircraft, and now it's available for Prepared version 3. I can get on to doing that, so fingers crossed I can actually make the time and get that done. Anyway, that's it for this week's news show. As always, I'm sure I've missed something. Leave a nice comment in the comment section below, and if it's worth checking out, I will cover it in next week's show. Until then, though, my name is Frugal. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.